How do I rotate the device? Phew. Eh. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, guys, I'm live. Come join me. Come join me. Come and join Miss Beth. Welcome, Joshua. Hi, hi. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. I thank you for joining, Joshua. Thank you. Um, Welcome, everybody. Miss Bev is live. This is an impromptu. I did not plan it. I just was thinking about some things at my desk earlier and just wanted to talk to us a little bit. Thanks for the thumbs up. Yes, Joshua, I live up in the north. So please come on in, guys. Come and join me for a little bit of talking. And as you know, hey, cuz, good night, welcome, welcome. Thanks to my lavender hearts. Thank you, thank you. Don't forget to like as you come in. Thank you. So, guys, as you know, I am. Yes, Joshua. Yes, 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 we did. It was quite interesting that some places got quite a few inches and some places was not. Thanks, Joshua, for sharing. Thank you so, so much. But New England is beautiful, especially in the fall when the leaves start changing. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. So, yes, please share the live. Please come in and like, and let's talk for a minute. Tonight, we're going to talk. Ouch. Ouch. I lived in New York City for a minute, for a long, long time before I came this way. Um, so tonight, guys, I was just sitting at the desk and decided, today, as I worked with the students and I did my evaluation the other day, and I got a very, very, very good report from my administrator who did the evaluation. And for years, as I work with children, I always wondered, how it is I've been able to. I'm not saying I have been perfect. I've had some struggles, but for the most part, I was able to work with these children and kind of get them on the right path. Um, so as a sixth grade teacher, it's that time of when they're going through the biggest struggles. It's not an easy time for them, and so tonight I thought about it, and I just wanted to talk to us as parents who I know have children at this age, and it's a push and pull. And as I always say, there are no directions. The kids did not come with any directions as to how to raise them. And sometimes because we ourselves were not, our parents didn't know what to do or how to do it. And so a lot of things are carried over, and a lot of things that we don't know how to. It's being inflicted on our children, and kids are born as blank slates, and it's what we put on those slates that the kids have to embrace and move forward with. So tonight I just wanted to just look back again to understand some of the strategies that we as parents can really use to support these children. Um, when they're a little bit, you tell them stop. And you know that at age 2, 3, you tell them to stop and they look at you and they keep going because that's who they are. They're little explorers. They're trying to do things on their own. They're not hearing you because in their mind they want to get this done and that's what is going to happen. Then as they get older and they will some will listen, some will question you, but some is just set in their way. But as they become young, I don't know, it's so challenging because the mouths are filled with stuff that they learned, and it comes at you like a barrel. Some of the things they say to you, wonder if they really understand why they're saying it or who they're saying it to. So it's our job to teach them the right things and the right way to do these things so that they can be successful adults as they get older. Adolescents run until the age of 19, some say until the age of 24. So we know that it's a long road, it's a long struggle. But why not look at these children and start to develop their strengths? Hey, thank you, lifestyle. Um, Thank you. Um, why not look at their strengths? Why not take a different approach and start looking at them as little human beings who they don't know, and so it's for us to help them. So if we start looking at what are they good at? What are some things that these children are good at? Sometimes in the classroom, I know that there are kids who, especially my boys, who will come in and they start rapping or they start doing their little beats, right? Instead of shutting them down, I start saying to them, you want to entertain the class. You want your 5 minutes of, you want your 5 minutes in the spotlight. And I give them a chance to go out and do their thing. Because as I say to them, I don't know what your future will hold. I don't know. A lot of you might not go to college. A lot of you might be getting trades and doing your own business or what have you. So I want to give them every opportunity to be positive, to start building on what it is they like. So I give them a chance to go up. I take 5 minutes. 5 minutes out of the curriculum is not going to spoil anything, and let them go out and do their thing. Um, Guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm on the phone. Usually I'm on the computer where I could come correspond, but I will go through this and then I'll go back. But thanks to all of you who have joined. Welcome, welcome to Miss Bev's Productions. Thank you so much for joining. And as I said tonight, I want to give some strategies about helping our young ones. All right. So welcome as you come in, and thank you. Remember to give a thumbs up and please share the link so others will join. So let's focus on their strengths. Look for the things your kids are strong in. If they like to argue, why don't you turn that into a positive? Let them know that also I see you like to use your words. Why not use your words for poetry? Why not use your words for good things instead of being disrespectful? To them, I don't know if they understand that what they do is disrespectful, but I think if we have a conversation with them, engage with them, because we have to train them. They don't know. And so they might think the things they're doing and how they're treating others, it's the okay thing. So as we see in sixth grade, we see the turmoil, we see the anger, we see so much of the things they have learned from their environment. And as educators, we have to start looking to see where the good things are and to help them to build on good things, teach them how to treat others, help them to understand that some of what, thanks, Joshua, some of the things that they're bringing in, some of the things they're learning at home are not so wholesome. Then let us set goals that are realistic for these children. Sometimes blessings, Paul. Hey, Peace. Welcome, Peace. How are you, my student? My former student. Thank you. Um, Let us set realistic goals. Sometimes we know that children are not capable of doing some things, but we are forcing them. It's like we're forcing this square peg in a circular hole, and it's not happening. And they're pushing back, and they're fighting, and they're arguing. But this is what we want, and this is exactly what it's going to be. We're not looking to say, well, you know what, it's not doable for the kid. Let them let us have a conversation. Let's talk about things. instead of forcing them into things that they know they're not going to manage, so they're fighting back. So let's have conversations instead of just laying down laws for them. Let us have conversations with them. So whatever goals are set, it's something that they're buying into, and so they can go forward with it. Another thing is that we keep encouraging them. I like to tell my kids, you're so filled with greatness. You are filled with goodness. Show us how to do it because you know what to do and how to do well. So show it to us. So I like to keep reinforcing those things. And when they do well, I like to really just call them out and just make a big deal about it. I like to lift them up and make them feel empowered. Because a kid whose self-esteem is good, is strong, is a kid who does things that make sense, right? A kid who feels belittled or feel ashamed of who they are children who come out and they try to inflict that hurt and that um, they're always portraying the negatives on others. I have had kids when you say, good morning, you're such a beautiful person. Oh, I'm not beautiful. Oh, I'm not, they don't want to embrace those things because probably they've been told so many times something negative. So let us reinforce those good things in them. Let us let them know that they are capable. They can do well. They just need to try. We have to accept that some of them are going to make good decisions, some of them are going to make bad decisions. It's because they make bad decisions, they're not good kids. I know that kids are just kids and they're exploring. They need to know. They're trying to find themselves. It's not easy. And so when they make the bad decision, it's not a time to cut them down and put them down and look for the worst. But it's time for us to embrace them and say, listen, let's talk. What made you do this? What happened here? Have conversations with them. A lot of times we're quick to punish. And a lot of times the kids become immune to the punishment. And they just figure, well, this is what's going to happen anyway, so I don't care. I don't like those words. I don't like kids to talk about they don't care because they do care. So I'm always saying to them, no, you do care. Don't just say that you don't care because you do. Right? So let us understand that they're not perfect and they are going to make mistakes. Just like we were not perfect and we made mistakes. Yes, Joshua, we gotta kill them with the positives. Always find something. Even when they made the mistakes, find something positive to just empower them with. I did a video earlier some time ago where it's not my words, children live what they learn. And it is true. The environment that we're raising our kids in, we have to know that they're noticing and they're picking up the things that we're putting down. We as parents are their role models. There is nobody as powerful as a parent. And so what we do, what we say, how we say it, how we do it, is that thing that they're going to take with them and run with it. So let us try. It's not going to be easy. But when we have differences, if it's relationships, if it's in marriage, well, marriage is a relationship. If it's how we talk to business people, to when we go out to deal with people out there, let us remember that children are observing and they are sponges. They suck up everything. And when they come to a classroom, they're going to spit it out at us. And they will think because mom and dad did it, it's the right thing. So let us try at all times when we make mistakes, explain to them. Explain to them. Don't think that it's not necessary you get mad and you say these things, and don't think that that's not how the child is going to react when they come to a class. They say, take that hoodie off, please. And it becomes, why do I have to take it off? My mother said not to. And so as parents, we got to be careful. If the school has rules and it says no hoodies, please encourage your children. When you go to school, put your hoodies in your lockers. Because if you're telling them it's okay to wear it, then the kids are going to be defiant when we ask them. A simple thing as, could you take the hoodie off, please? It becomes a bigger thing than it has to become. So as they're learning and they're growing and they're getting older, we know that the things they're learning is what they're going to take into relationships. It's behaviors they're going to take into the workplaces. It's behaviors that they're going to spill out into society. And so we want our children to not be labeled as a negative or become a statistic, but we want our children to be part of the positive part of society, giving back in a wholesome way. So, as I said before in the beginning, our children did not come with directions. There are no directions. There are just trials and errors, but we can learn some of the things that will help us to make it a little easier, a little softer, and a little more kind. It's a little kinder so that they can be accepted nicely in society as they grow and strive into greatness, right? So, I also teach your children that when something happens, it's not the end all. Life is not over because they made a mistake. Let them know that they could brush themselves off, get up, and keep going again. Um, if kids know that you're supporting them, a lot of parents sit home and if the kids don't get an A or B, they beat down the kids. They're so disappointed. What am I sending you to school for? Yeah. And we have all the negatives, but we don't look at the fact that with all the struggles and all the hormonal changes and all the things that they're going through, all the new students they have to deal with, all of these things they have to carry around with them, all of this, the struggles at home that they also have to deal with, that these children, when they are trying, that it's us to encourage them. Encourage them. If they got a C or so, ask them what happened, what happened? And so they can explain to us. But let us not be quick to push them down, because when you push them down and they come into school and they give up on learning, there's nothing. There's nothing we can do to encourage them. But if you are there with them and you're proud of them and you're proud of the efforts they make, so you can encourage them to the next level. So, again, a lot of us like to punish. Punishments become a part of this child's life. If everything they do, they get punishment, they'll get to the stage where, I don't care, punish me anyways. They get into relationships and they're waiting to be punished. I remember when I was growing up, you'll hear people talk about, well, if he doesn't hit me, it means he doesn't love me. Garbage. Garbage. You don't need to be punished. You need to be listened to. You need to be heard. You need to be forgiven. You need to be able to have conversations, not to be put down and treated badly because you make a mistake. So we have to be careful of when we talk about punishments, what they look like and what they will sound like. Put downs, forget the put downs. Remember, people will say, oh, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's a lie. That is such a big lie, because words do hurt. Words do hurt. I think of so many times when we have these discussions and kids will say, I remember when mommy did this or mommy slapped me because I did that, right? And we laugh about it. But the thing about ugly words, when people talk to tell you what you look like and look at you and good for nothing and this and that, it sticks in the mind. It sticks in the mind. It traumatizes people. It gives them a sense of hopelessness. A lot of people, you see them give up and they're not trying. It's because somebody told them they were not good for anything. They were worthless, right? And so they hold on to those things and they don't try hard enough, because what's the use? They think I'm worthless anyways. So let us be careful of the words, guys. Sticks and stones break bones. Words maim you for life. All right? A lot of people will use those negatives and they rise above it to prove a point. But we don't need to put people through that. Let us help our children to understand their differences. Let us help them to understand that they are worthy. They might not be able to do things the way I want them to do it, but they are worthy. They're beautiful. Teach them to embrace who they are, regardless. You teach them those little things. You be proud of who you are, and you embrace that. And so you send them with that confidence and that good self-esteem And so when they come to school to mingle with other kids, they don't spend time putting kids down. They spend time trying to build and trying to be successful. So, as an educator, as a sixth grade math teacher, I see how if we are building self esteem, if we're doing those things, you can look and you can evaluate each day. And as educators, we have to really jump in and do a lot because somebody has to do it. And if parents don't understand it, that's why I tell parents, read books. Every kid now has access to devices. Everybody's walking around with a computer in their hands every day. Everybody walking with a smartphone. There's so much information out there to help us in these days and times. In our time, there was nothing. You were growing up like you might get 6 people in the community buying newspapers. Good night, Beverly. Welcome. Thank you. Who have access to the newspaper, right? Because it was like that in those days. And so there wasn't much. And so a lot of people in those days had to go through the beatings and the put downs and and all those things. But as times become different and as people have access to so much more information, guys, we should be doing better. Our kids should be doing better. There should be more respect from our young children because we have information that can help us look at their developmental stages, see what is going on during this time. They're trying to find themselves as adolescents at age 10. Their bodies have changed. They're going through the changes. The hormones are kicking, and it's different. But now you understand it. You understand why this is happening. And therefore, we should be able now to treat it in a way that children can do better. There are too many disrespectful children out there, and it's so totally unnecessary. And those disrespectful behaviors take away from their learning. They spend so much time not doing because nobody should talk to them. Nobody should redirect them. And so they waste so much time not learning instead of being able to say, look, I'm sorry. Let me get on task. I am sorry. I shouldn't have said that. So let's teach them those good things, guys. They're good, they're wholesome, and they're good traits that will help them to succeed in society. Cussing out. You should hear some of the words that children bring to the classroom. But where did they learn them from? Where did they learn these things? Is this what they see happening at home? Is this how parents relate to one another when there's a disagreement? Where are they getting it from? So let us remember that children are living what they learn. If this is how you're behaving at home, this is what they're going to bring out in the public because they don't know differently. You are their role models. So please, please, my parents, remember that. What you put in them is what you're going to get out of them. They come to us as blank slates. They didn't come to us cussing. They didn't come to us fighting. They come to us as blank slates. What we put on those slates is what we're going to get back. So we don't lock them out when there's a situation. They get in the teenage years again, they feel like they're grown. It's not that they feel like they're grown, it's just that now we need to have conversations. We can tell them, don't do this, don't do that, instead of saying, talk to me, what do you think? Because they have ideas too. I remember when my twins were growing and I was telling them something, I think they were 16. And it was mommy just telling them, don't do this, don't do. And one day the older twin says, mommy, do you know we have a voice too? And that thing really, really connected to me, When she said it, I really stopped. And I think I was finishing up my bachelor's degree then. And I said, you know what, I need to do a class in child psychology. And so I went ahead and took it because that class taught me a lot about development, the developmental stages of children. And so I was able to understand my son better when he was growing. And so I say to people, I question sometimes, how is it? I ask them, how is it you never hiss your teeth to me? You never slam a door? And they say, Mommy, because we respected you that much. So I said, was it the respect so much as, or was it because I spent the time now to turn things around and have conversations with them instead of putting down and getting angry at their behavior? They're not perfect. They're not perfect. And so we have to have more conversations instead of finding reason to push them down and tell them what they look like. And so, you're not coming out to nothing, you're no good. They're good kids, but we have to help them to maintain and to achieve their highest levels. So we know that as they get older, guys, we have to put them into programs, get them involved into programs, into the boys, get them involved into sports. We don't know where their strengths are until we put them in there and see what they like, and you encourage them and support them. Be there for them, cheer them on. Even when they come last in the race, you cheer them on and encourage them. And you watch them striving. If they know that you're there pushing for them, if they know you're there caring, they're going to do better. So talk to me in the comments, guys. Tell me what strategies are you using to support the young ones that you're affiliated to. Some of you might not have children yet, but you're hoping to one day. How do you see things, and how will you help a child to not fall through the cracks, but to give them that hope, to uplift them so we can have more of our children be more successful? All of them are not going to become professionals, but most of them can become entrepreneurs. They can become tradesmen. They can become supporters, cheerleaders. They can become positive role models in society. So talk to me, tell me what you think and how you feel. Children do live what they learn. So let us be committed to help them achieve those goals. So thanks to all of you who have joined tonight. As I said, I'm an educator. I've been teaching for over 28 years now, and I've taught mostly sixth grade students who they come in with a lot of needs, so much needs, and sometimes you reach out and you do the best you can do, and in the next turn they turn on you and they become so aggressive and they become so, but it's who they are. And so we have to have the conversations, we have to support, and we have to remind them to treat people the way they want to be treated, right? So help me make sure that our children are getting what they need to be successful human beings, all right? So please like the video. Again, leave me your comments. I do respond to all your comments. If you have any questions, leave them there for me likewise. And let me see what was going on here while I was running my mouth. I don't even know how to go back to it, right? I don't know how to find the chat. Here we are. So I saw the piece came on. Thanks, Joshua. Joshua, you've been there from day one. Thank you, Shell. I see you were here. Miss Jennings, good night, my sister, my friend. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. Okay. So yes, my friends, thanks to all of you who hopped on tonight. I know it's a little late. It was not planned. I didn't promote it, but thank you. Thank you, Minerva, my family. Thank you so much for joining. And thanks to all who will watch later. Thank you so much. And thank you, Joshua, for sharing and for hanging in there with me. So guys, if you can't be good, be careful, but walk good, live good, do good. Remember to check out the MBP News TV. That's the second channel where I do a little commenting on different things, mostly from Jamaica. And remember our Blessing Soup Kitchen. We have continued to feed Bev Brown has been doing the cooking down there in Jamaica, and with Miss IHS Ministry serving the needy ones in that part of St. James, Jamaica. So, all of you who have supported, I thank you. Thank you so much. And just know that your monies did go towards feeding, buying gasoline, paying a couple of people who was helping with the rides to get to these, because some people are 2 miles away that has to get served. And so the funds went to things like those. We also shipped the 3 barrels. I shipped one, and Miss Ruby shipped two. Miss Ruby also donated $300 towards the clearing of the barrels get when they are stripped and is ready to be picked up. We have that money available for that. So all of you who have supported, you know who you have been, who those of you became members of the channel. I thank you and I appreciate you. And you know that those funds go towards helping my students in their classrooms to get different pencils and different things, snacks, a lot of snacks. I just ordered from BJ's tonight to bring in for tomorrow. So it's an ongoing process as an educator. It never stops. You cannot go in and feel like, I know my children are in the inner cities. I know that they have a lot of needs. And then you just walk in and then walk out. It doesn't work like that. You're always giving, you're always doing, because you know what the realities are. So just lift up in prayers, guys. Lift us up as teachers in prayers. And just know that the work is hard. But you as parents and those of the parents who are sending the children to school, if you're doing a little bit at home, it makes the work a little bit easier for us. All right? So go in peace, guys. Go with God. Go with blessings. If you can't be good again, be careful. Walk good. Continue to do good. Support those around you who need to be supported. And take good care of yourselves. So good night.